Now, very recently, I shared the video of what this man is currently going through at work and at home, and there's one particular thing he said that I want to highlight in this video.
Alright, so I was just here getting ready to cut up some wood, and all of a sudden I got this overwhelming smell of rotten eggs, or it's like rotten eggs mixed with something dying. It is just in this area, like just in this area where I was getting ready to cut the wood. Like, it's super strong here, but I hit here and I don't smell it. I walk around, I don't smell it. So it's not like it's somehow it's like stagnant.
And the reason I wanted to cover this one again because he included this line in the video, and I found something that he'll probably find useful from one of Father Carlos Martins' many interviews before. Listen to this.
There's one moment when in this particular exorcism, so I had a very full team there, and it wasn't the largest room in the world, so it was kind of tight. And then what happened was the demon was making a foul smell in the room. It smells like feces is being held 2 inches from your nose. So the demons can do that. It is, at the end of the day, an illusion. There's no feces to be had, but they can manipulate the forces of nature to produce that effect in you. And also, I will say this about that experience of a smell, or even about the experience of when a demon makes the room, say, really cold or really hot. When the smell goes away, it goes away with the snap of a finger. It doesn't linger. It's instant on, instant off. So as we're experiencing this, on this particular day, there were 2 of us exorcists, and the other exorcist was pronouncing the prayers, and he used this foul odor in the prayer that he used, in his address to the demon. So he heaped insults upon him, couched within a command, you cunning, foul mouth, evil, enemy of man, I command you to answer me in the name of Christ, you malodorous fiend. And then the demon just stopped, looked at him and said, me? Malodorous? That smell was you. And then he gave a look on his face like he was offended just at the... It was something that none of us expected, and the entire room burst out laughing. And it's one of those situations where, obviously, in an exorcism, everybody's under great stress. And in those moments when you're stressed out and something really funny happens, well, the more you try to suppress it, the more the laughter comes out. We had to take a 15-minute break just to compose ourselves and get serious again. And, it was part of the demonic tactic. It gave him a reprieve and allowed him a rest and a way to recoup himself.
And here's another one that I've covered quite often, and for good reason. And that's because when something like this happens, people tend to do stupid stuff in an attempt to solve the problem. Now, just a quick disclaimer though, I'm not here to prove whether what's shared is real or fake. That's not really my interest, but these clips do give us some helpful examples before I show the clips of the priest, like I usually do.
This is day 3 of the weird, strange occurrences at our house. Right now, this light has been steadily blinking for about 20 minutes. And maybe 10, and I just don't understand why. Okay, now it's like not blinking at all. I guess it's okay now. But that and the hearing the voices and stuff sometimes, and hello? 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 Who's here? Who's here? Okay, I'm kind of freaked out. Going back inside the house. See what I mean, though? This is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, why is this stuff happening? I'm really thinking about moving away. I think that we should move away. Did you see that?
That, well, if the devil is in a place or in a person, wherever there is demonic activity, that is happening for a reason. In other words, a door has been opened to the devil. And in order for the devil to leave, in order for him to be cast out, that door has to be closed. I mean, to state it in a different way, to state it in kind of juridical terms or legal terms, the devil, where he is, he has rights to be there. And so as long as he possesses those rights, then he has a right to stay. So in order to cast him out, those rights have to be removed. And so right away, that dispels what a lot of people think is what occurs in exorcism, that there's a kind of a clashing of the two persons, the exorcist and the demon, and the more powerful one wins. And that is not the case. It is not a test of wills, because the will of the devil is always going to be more than a human's will. It is an enterprise where you are removing the platform upon which the devil is standing. If the platform is gone, then he can no longer stand there.
And then there's another case study I want to cover. I think it's really important to bring awareness to this, because if any of you know friends or family members who are doing this, you can help them by warning them about what will actually happen if they continue.
I'm here at a black magic, voodoo, brujeria, witchcraft market here in Mexico City, and I'm about to do a cleanse. Let's go. Just got done with the cleanse. Man, I feel amazing. So we're both getting cleanses. There's 2 cleanses. It was like 500 pesos or whatever, about 10 minutes total time.
Now pay close attention to this one.
You look at like the world of the occult, people that may claim to be a psychic or, a medium, they don't have those abilities. That's outside of human nature. It would always be the power of evil working in and through them. So there is a power in the occult world, but the power would come from the devil himself. Some people that are caught up in these activities, either they've been duped by evil into believing that they have a power or ability, or they know that it's the power of evil working through them, and they go along with it simply because they like the attention, the notoriety, the money they're making, or whatever. But ultimately, it would be the devil himself that is doing that. And anytime the devil, is working in and through somebody with their permission, then the long-range plan would be for the demonic to destroy their life. There's even people, that go to see a psychic, for example. Nobody knows the future but God alone. The word supernatural means to be beyond nature, and only God is outside of the natural order. You look at the first 10 words in the book of Genesis, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So what does that tell us about God? In the beginning, God creates time. The heavens, God creates space. The earth, God creates matter. So God is outside of time, space, and matter. So only God is supernatural. But demons are what we call preternatural. They're above our understanding of nature. That's why demons can do things that we might say seem to be out of the ordinary or unnatural. But again, it's based on their preternatural character, if you will. But then again, demons are simply trying to get us caught up in their world of lies and deception. They do that through a lot of people that give into the world of the occult. And then people that make these connections with the demonic can bring about strange occurrences like flies appearing on the ceiling and whatnot, because the demonic is trying to get inside of a person's head. That's even a form of demonic obsession, mental attacks. People begin to see things that are causing them to equate that with the demonic. I've talked with people, they get fixated on the number 666, for example, and they can't turn it off. They see it on license plates, phone numbers, billboards, no matter where they go. And it always leads them to think of the devil. And then when they think of the devil, they begin to live in fear. They become discouraged. They become isolated. Maybe they want to stay in their houses. They don't want to venture out. And that's exactly what the devil wants to do to them, is to bring them into isolation. You think about the importance of church. The word church comes from the Greek word ecclesia, meaning community. God wants us to live in community. The human person needs other persons to properly grow and develop. Even when Jesus taught his disciples to pray, he gave them the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven. It doesn't begin, My Father who art in heaven. Again, it teaches us the important role that other people play in our lives. So again, we need a sense of community, but the devil lives by a philosophy of divide and conquer, bring the person into isolation where they are more susceptible in believing the lies that the devil is presenting to them.
And the next case study for this video is something pretty common. And when this happens, people tend to engage the spirits more and more, talking to them and interacting with them. I can probably include more than 10 of these in this video for this kind of approach.
I'm walking around my apartment, broad daylight, afternoon, whatever. I see a shadow run and I was like, oh. I told him, like, I'm a little bit of a nervous Nelly, so if you want to show yourself to me, that's cool with me, but, like, can you make it, like, a little bit gentle because I'm just a nervous girl. So I leave. I come back a few hours later. I immediately go into the bathroom, and as I'm in the bathroom, the lights start flashing on and off in the bathroom. So I was like, okay, if that was you, I feel like you're trying to tell me that you're here, but if you are here, can you make it just, like, a little more obvious? I didn't see you. I just saw, that you were messing with the lights. 2 seconds go by, nothing happens. So I lay down, I open up my computer to watch Netflix on it. The battery is half full, goes black, will not turn back on until I charge it again. I'm like, oh, okay. On the bright side, I feel like that means that he's a nice ghost because he didn't try to, like, scare me,
Is it creepy or is it malicious? Now, I get that unusual things happening in the house is going to be creepy no matter what. Are we talking about something that's merely creepy or something that also has a threat behind it? Because, when I set down the keys on one part of my counter and I find them somewhere else in the kitchen, that in itself wasn't a malicious thing. Yeah, it's creepy and weird. Or maybe if the garage door opens up in the middle of the afternoon all by itself and we can't find out any other reason why that might be, well, that in itself, yeah, is creepy, but it doesn't seem to be threatening me in any particular way. So is there something about this experience that also feels malicious? Does it feel like there's something threatening you? For example, maybe while you're in the room and you see that shadowy figure in the corner, do you suddenly start to think really dark thoughts, thoughts of self-harm, for example? Or when things move around the house, are they moved in places where it would suddenly be hazardous for you or somebody else in the household, right? Those would be the kinds of things that might come off as more threatening and not just creepy. If it's creepy, but there's not really a threat, then we would say that it's likely a ghost. If it's malicious, if the thing that's happening feels threatening in some way, then we would say, then yeah, it could be a demon. And that's an important distinction to make because dealing with a ghost is different than dealing with a demon. So what are we supposed to do? Well, if you determine that the thing happening in your house is likely a ghost because it's not a natural explanation and it's not threatening, then the thing to do is pray for it. Don't talk to it. It doesn't need you to talk to it. We shouldn't be talking to it because that would be a violation of the first commandment. But we do need to pray for it. It is probably doing things in your house to try to get your attention so that you will pray for it, so that it is free to go be with God, so that its time of purgation would be ended and it would go spend eternity with God.
Well, that is all for the video this time. Again, thank you so much for taking a little bit of your time to be here with us. Always remember that if ever you have any feedback or suggestion, please don't ever hesitate to let us know in the comments below.